That's right then, right?
Double tap to flip camera. Oh no, that's the other way. What are you doing?
We may just have to, I don't know.
Just hold it.
I wonder if I can set it. I wonder if we could like prop it against something. Oh, I'm a Periscope dummy. I don't know how it like put
I tried
this.
to watch a Periscope tonight.
Like,
We're live too.
I know, we
This
are
is
live.
the real deal.
This is the real deal.
So don't use our live.
You're getting periscoped. You're
I say,
on.
like, if you put this like behind it, would it kind of like?
Yeah, let's try that.
No, that's not gonna work. I don't think. The cord's gonna be the issue.
I thought we were smart with this little doodad, but okay.
Take turns holding it.
We're just trying to get Periscope started, and then we will get started. It's started, but we just don't know what we're doing.
Haha.
There we go.
What if you put something on the other side of the phone to like balance it?
There you go.
Bingo.
Is it straight?
Got it.
No.
No.
Our type A people out there are going to be angry. I know, right?
It's so crooked.
That's all right.
Looks fairly
They
straight.
could have gotten
Oh
a
my
flight
goodness.
game here.
This is like, don't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
At its finest.
Be silly.
Oh my gosh.
Something to go on the other side to keep it from like, falling over.
I need a longer leg.
Like I was thinking.
Oh, there we go.
On this side, if you put something to keep it from falling over. Now are you pointed the right direction?
Don't move. Okay, so you have to stay on this side of the banner.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
You have to talk over. What's his name?
Can you guys hear me? I borrowed my daughter's frozen karaoke machine for this. I'm gonna have them turn the music on.
She just did.
Hey guys, welcome to our August team meeting. My name is Ashley Renau. If you guys don't know me, I am a Presidential Diamond, and we are so excited that you guys are here. Sorry, Periscope wants to see me. All right.
Right in front of the banner. Right there.
I like to move a lot, so this is going to be a problem. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here tonight. Do we have any guests in the room? I'm not calling you out, but kind of am. Do we have any guests, just so we know if we have people that are not distributors? Awesome. Exciting. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. So I had you guys write down your 90-day goals, and what we're going to do with those, I'm going to have you guys take a selfie with them if you have not already. Has everybody done that? And then we're going to post on Facebook. It doesn't have to be verbatim what I say by any means. It doesn't have to be verbatim. Just go ahead and post it on Facebook and say, something about team meeting challenge. I'm trying to see if I can get the most likes on my picture to win a contest. Help me out. Something like that. And then at the end of the meeting, we're going to see who has the most likes, and then we have some free products that we're going to give away. So if you guys would do that.
If you're not a selfie taker and you look for it works, you soon will be.
That's my deal.
Do you have your
That was fun.
What do I need?
Watching us try to,
That was fun.
yeah. You don't have to be smart to be in this business.
We could all vouch for that one.
You have to put your goals in there too.
I did.
She's just
All
taking a
right, guys.
selfie.
So since we do have some guests in the room tonight, we're going to go over the party pad real quick. But how many people in the room have been in the business for less than 30 days? So there's a lot of people. So a lot of you maybe have never even heard the Purdy Pad yourself. So that's really, really exciting. Something else we're going to do tonight to give away some free products is if somebody would like to volunteer to be wrapped, and if somebody would like to volunteer to be the wrapper, we are going to do that up here in front of the room. If somebody would be willing to do that, we're going to just pretend like exactly what you would do at a party. So that way, in case people just don't know how to wrap, and then we're going to take a before picture, and then we'll take an after picture at the end of the meeting too. So if somebody is willing to do that, a free product is involved. First come, first serve, 2 people. Just come up, whoever.
Run!
Right, my stomach. Oh wait, after
All right. Who's wrapping and who's the wrap? You're our guest, right? So let's wrap you. Okay? Sounds good. Okay, so I'm going to give this to you, dear. We're going to take a before, Lauren.
No, I was trying to get mine.
You're going to have to take the before picture because my phone is Periscope. If you have any room on your phone.
I have room. You can grab any area.
Yeah, you can grab any area. You can grab your chin, you can grab. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to have you guys come over here a little bit, though. What's your name? Danielle. Well, we are excited to have you as a guest here tonight.
Can't take a picture with.
in March.
What is she?
Vacation to Cancun.
So we're going to have you actually lift up your shirt if you're okay with that.
There you go. That's a good goal.
Okay, and then let's take a before or after picture.
Adrian has one.
That was not on the list.
I'm really glad to have you. I'm really excited to everybody's there.
And then, so what we just did, it's so crucial, and especially if you're selling wraps to people on, through your website, make sure that they know how important it is to take a before and after picture. Before I joined this business, I had a wrap that was totally expired, and I was like, if this wrap works, I'm going to sign up. And I didn't take any pictures, and I took it off in 45 minutes, and I went and looked in the mirror, and I was like, that didn't work. Pictures are crucial. The other night I wrapped my thighs. I don't know how many of you guys saw my thigh picture, but it was phenomenal. If I wouldn't have taken that picture and I would have just looked in the mirror, I probably wouldn't have seen that much of a difference. But when you see the picture, especially with the box in between my legs to show the exact same distance, that was huge. I mean, you could tell a huge difference, and I got a customer out of it immediately. So it's really, really important to try to, I'm going to have you guys slide over here so I can turn this. So I had, it's really important to take that before picture, try to use the same lighting, if you can use the same clothes, put the same pants back on, whatever, because I think that that's one thing that's really hard in this business is people think, they're skeptical. I was skeptical. It took me 3 years to sign up. I'm sure most of you guys kind of know my story. But I watched for 3 years because I did not believe that there was any way that this wrap worked. And I didn't think anybody really made any money in this business. I thought the total pyramid scheme, that was me for 3 years. So it's really, really super important to stress how important it is to take the pictures. So we're getting her all wrapped up here.
Good job.
Thank you for being our role model tonight.
I know. The skin of
Do you have Wi-Fi in there?
Okay, ladies, you all can come over here and each pick out a free product for being our models tonight. We've got some exfoliating peel, cleanser, hair, skin, and nails, lip and eye cream, fat fighters, and there's some packs of greens too. Awesome. Make sure you take before and after pictures with those. Okay, so since we have some guests here tonight, I'm going to have Kara come up and she's going to go over the party pad with us, and then we'll get started on the training portion. But the party pad is really good. If you have your distributor kit, you received a party pad in your distributor kit. This is our lifeline to this business. I keep one in my purse, I keep one in a diaper bag. I mean, I literally have them everywhere because that is your tool to talk to people, whether it be a customer or a potential distributor. So Kara's going to show you how to use it.
Anybody can do this.
Yeah.
I haven't given a party pad presentation in quite a few months, so it is super simple. All right, here we go. So how many of you have tried that crazy wrap thing? We know someone's trying it right now. Is it like tingling? A little bit? How did it feel? Did it kind of tingle a little bit when you guys tried it? Get warm, fuzzy feeling in your stomach? Yeah. Cool. So your wrap's going to work in as little as 45 minutes. All you got to do is take it out, choose the spot you want to wrap, put it on, just like we did just now, and then you're going to see results really quickly. 45 minutes, and they're going to be progressive over the next 72 hours. It's awesome. So this is what it does. Tighten, tones, and firms any loose skin that you've got from your neck down. Here's an example of what someone's stomach looked like before and after. Huge change. And it's only available through an It Works distributor. We're the only company that has a product like this, and distributors are the only people that can get you this wrap. So, we have this awesome program called the Loyal Customer Program. The Loyal Customer Program gives you 40% off our retail prices. You get to buy products at wholesale cost. A lot of companies, only their distributors get that wholesale cost, but we have that opportunity for our loyal customers as well. We have all sorts of different products, from skincare to all natural supplements to wraps. All sorts of good stuff, and you can also earn free wraps as a loyal customer, which is awesome too. So we've got a few different steps. If you're interested in this crazy wrap thing and you're interested in joining the party with us, step one is to become a distributor. You purchase your business builder kit. In your business builder kit, you get 4 wraps. You get sample tubes of defining gel. You also get some awesome business marketing materials that come with your kit also. You can boost your kit with all sorts of other of our products at a discounted price when you first sign up. Step 2, after you've joined the party, is you want to find 4 people that want to purchase a product from you. Those could be 4 family members, those could be 4 friends, those could be 4 Facebook friends, anybody. But for every 2 customers that you sign, you get a box of wraps for $25. So the company is rewarding your effort. So your first 2 low customers, they'll give you a wrap reward, is what we call them. You get to purchase a box of wraps for $25. You can either use those wraps or you can sell them. So if you sold a wrap for $25 a piece, you would make $75 in your pocket after you've bought your $25 box and you've sold all of them. So
And the 15% commission off of your loyal customers too that got you that box.
On top of your commission, exactly. So you can make some quick wrap cash just for sharing the product with your friends. After step 2, you found your first loyal customers. Now we want you to go Ruby. We want you to gather 3 friends who want to join you on this wrap adventure. These could be your sister, these could be your aunt, this could be your best friend. 3 people that want to join you and that want to make money wrapping and having fun, just like the rest of us are. Once you get those three distributors and they complete their steps to success, they complete step 1 and step 2, you're just about ready to go Ruby. The cool thing about this business is right now they have this awesome new Ruby bonus. So if you go Ruby in your first 60 days, you'll earn a $500 bonus, cash bonus in your pocket on top of any Wrap Cash that you've earned, on top of your commissions from your sales and your friends that are partying with you. You earn that $500 on top of all of that. It's awesome. So here's an example of average annual income. So like Ashley said earlier, a lot of people believe you don't make money in this business. You're just all wrapping people, acting crazy, and there's no money to be made. That is not true. Here's an example of how much opportunity you have. The average distributor, you haven't gone Ruby yet, you're just selling wraps to people. The average distributor makes $752 a month. Or a year. That's pretty good. So it's your choice. Awesome little customer program. Maybe you say, no, I'm not quite ready to sell these racks yet, but I want to enjoy these products. You earn your 40% off retail price. You get these products at wholesale cost. You get to manage all your orders online, so you don't have to talk to anybody. If you just want to order something, log into your loyal customer account. It's easy. You get rewarded with product credit, so every time you place an order as a loyal customer, you earn 10% back in, we call them perks points, that you can cash in for free product. You also get free shipping after you complete 3 months of orders, so that's pretty neat too. You don't have to pay for shipping, they'll deliver it right to your door for free. And if you're thinking, well, I want to use these products, but I also want to make money, you can become a distributor. And you get all those things that the loyal customer have with the 40% off. You have your own website that you get to control, and you get rewarded with product credit of your own. And you can get out of debt, which is pretty awesome with the distributor program as well.
Awesome.
Cool.
So something like Kara was saying is most people that get into this business don't get into it to make like a fortune or to quit your job. And sorry, let me get this back real quick so I don't.
That yellow circle.
There, you're so smart. I'm new to math, so we're learning. So something that Kara was saying, most people don't get in this business to like quit their job. When I watched this business for 3 years, 2 friends were doing it, and I thought that it was a complete joke, but I was like, whatever. Watched them on Facebook. The longer I watched them, the more I realized I was stalking them, and every bonus they would get, every paycheck they would talk about, I would spend in my mind because we were drowning in student loan debt, we were drowning in credit card debt. And so I just kept watching until finally I decided I need to make a change. When I signed up for this business, my intention was to make an extra $300 to $500 a month. That was like my long-term goal. So that way I could put extra payments towards our student loans. And so 18 months later, I never in a million years imagined that I would be a presidential diamond and my husband would be a double diamond. Saturday, we'll probably find out we're in the top 75 money earners out of 100,000 distributors. This is not where I intended to be, and I wouldn't change it for the world. Like this business, I've left my nursing career. I work 1 shift a month now. I'm home with my babies. I put my own babies to bed at night now instead of my husband being a single dad basically 3 nights a week, 3 to 4 nights a week. And I don't miss out on stuff anymore. So this business was a dream come true to us, and it can happen for every single person in this room. It just takes consistency, and you've got to have that why. And my why was my kids and that debt that I didn't want to have forever. So that is that. But we are going to kind of move on to a training portion. I don't know, a lot of you guys probably saw, we just got back from a huge corporate event at the end of July. We went down to Florida for what's called Green Carpet. They're doing 1 a year now, and then in January, in the past it's been in January, we do a big conference. But there was about 8,000 people down in Florida. We got to tour the corporate office. It's absolutely incredible. If you don't know much about It Works, like the background, just so you guys kind of have some information, we started in 2001. We've been around for 14 years. We are debt-free. We went debt-free, I believe, in 2008. In the middle of an economic crisis. So, I mean, that's something to be said. We just actually found out today that we were in the Inc. 500 magazine for the 3rd year in a row for the fastest growing companies. So I always laugh when people think that it's a fad, because we're clearly a 14-year fad. We're not going anywhere. We're going to continue growing. There's rumor that there's going to be a couple more countries added this year. We're already at 19 countries. And if you think about that with 100,000 distributors, that was really hard for me to comprehend. It's because I get a lot that the market's saturated. That's what people tell me. And I don't know if you guys saw when you turned at the sign to come in here, we have a population sign, which they just changed. So I'm not, it says like 679, 69, something like that. So there are 7 or 8 of us that are in that diamond and above level in this town. So to tell me that the market is saturated is like crazy. But if you take 100,000 people, the average NFL stadium holds 80,000 people. So if you took our 100,000 distributors, we would just barely fill up an NFL stadium for 19 countries. So we're not even at our peak of growth yet. It's going to continue. So I'm excited for what's to come. So we're going to talk a little bit about, actually let's do the green carpet. People that went to green carpet, will you guys come up here? And everybody, no, you guys have been to a couple smaller corporate events, right? This was like everybody's big corporate event. So this was my third like really large corporate event. Corporate events are where it's at. If you can take, even if it's just a one team, one mission, every week every Sunday you get a weekly wrap up email. If you don't get it, call customer service and let them know, because there may be some sort of error with the system. But if you scroll all the way down to the very bottom, there's corporate events listed. And you can also go to the myitworkscalendar.com, and there is a list of corporate events too. So you can find one. There'll be one in Kansas City, there's one in St. Louis, there's some in Springfield. We had one in Columbia in April. But then we also have the big corporate events. So corporate events, to me, they fill my cup up. Whenever I feel like I'm kind of running, like I'm drained, and it just really re-energizes me to be around like-minded people that are all on the same, mission to do the same thing. And this corporate event was amazing. Last year I went to green carpet and I think I had 5 people from my team with me, and this year we had over 30 from our team. So it was huge. I got to sit down in the VIP section with the presidential and ambassadors, and I couldn't help but stare up at my team like, I cannot wait till the next event when I have people down there with me, because that's going to happen like soon. So these events are incredible, and if you can take the chance to get to one, please do it. So what I'm going to have these guys do is just tell you their aha moment and why they think corporate events are so important. Yes.
Hi, my name is Kristen Eller. I'm Double Diamond. Gosh, there were so many aha moments at green carpet. But I think the one that really sticks with me is that there was someone on the stage who said that she was like, I can't remember her rank, but she won a free wrap, and that's how she got introduced to the business. And she had no idea, she was not looking for it. She started the business as a customer, became a distributor, and she's a presidential, thank you, diamond now. And that just blows my mind. I think that it's really important not to pass anybody up with this opportunity. You never know which person out there needs this, and it's always important to share it with anyone that you come across, because not only can they benefit from the products, I mean, every person you know, there's a product that they could use. It doesn't matter if they're an athlete or not athletic at all. We have something for everyone. So I think that, just presenting the business and the products to every person that you come across is so important. Who knows, that could be your customer that turns into a distributor and is a presidential diamond on stage at a corporate event. So that was my aha moment.
Hi, I'm Lauren Dial. I don't know how far away to talk to this thing. But I'm a triple diamond, and I live in Virginia. I'm just in town for the week. But this was my first corporate event that I had been to, and I felt like it was so important to go to that. What I took away from it was I now have a game plan, I now have a path, I now have not only a goal in mind, but a how to reach that goal in mind. I knew what my next promotion was, but when I left, I knew exactly how many distributors that was going to take, the path I was going to take, and I also kind of felt like I had a good grasp on who wanted to work to that goal with me. And I felt like that was just re-energizing, because so often we feel like we're doing the right things and we're doing them day in and day out and maybe not seeing the results that we want to see. Like maybe you post about joining you as a distributor every single day, but you can't sign a distributor. This was just kind of a way to think outside the box, I guess, and kind of see things from a different perspective. So many people stood on stage and talked about how they like to sign customers or how they like to sign distributors. She's super cute. I don't know who she belongs to, but she's really, really cute. And I also liked, I liked so many of the stories, like what Kristen said. There were so many inspirational stories of how people got started, why they joined. There was a woman that her and her husband were in line for food stamps, and she was a brand new Ambassador Diamond, and they were in line for food stamps when they started the business, and she's an ambassador, and I don't know if you remember that chart, but it's like a $585,000 a year average. But she was not my total takeaway. What I thought was really interesting and helpful was the way that somebody describes the Loyal Customer Program, because I've always described it as 3 months worth of products, and I've always described it one way. She described it as it's a membership, and you can join, just like Sam's Club, you can join with a $50 joining fee. It's a membership fee, or we can waive that fee for you if you decide, or if you buy 3 months worth of products. So she presented it with the $50 fee and said, okay, but I'll cut you a deal if you go the opposite route, which to me was just kind of oh, well, I've never even thought about it that way. And it really is kind of a membership. So I thought that was a pretty helpful kind of tip from it.
Hi, my name is Zoe Kelling, and my husband and I are Double Diamonds. And I had a wonderful time. I feel like with frozen hair, I'm ready to let it go. But anyway, I don't have a fan for my hair going, so I'll leave that for my husband to do. I felt like that this corporate event, I've been to a lot of different corporate events. My husband's a chiropractor. We go to leadership seminars all the time. I was a part of Mary Kay for 20-some years, went to Mary Kay seminars. There's millions of Mary Kay, consultants out there, and went to a lot of their big events. This one I really enjoyed because I got to deal with some of my favorite people. I got to take my niece, Kara, who I feel like I'm the old lady here because I've known these guys when she was born, when she was little. The 2 distributors at my table here, I had them in kids choir when they were 3, so I hope I still look young. But
You look amazing.
Thank you.
The facial line.
Yes, it's all facial line. Switch from Mary Kay to this, big deal. Anyway, I had an amazing time doing this with the people that I love and got to know a lot of these young ladies. The biggest thing that I took away from this, I love to surround myself around people who are leaders themselves. I surround myself with people who are successful. I surround myself with people who have goals and that want to go get them. That's just what we do. And so with this company, Ashley's my neighbor. I saw her, I watched her, and I was like, we can do this. So we signed on my husband's birthday. That was his birthday present, was a $99 kit. And biggest thing from Green Carpet was that I got to see couples walk across the stage as new ambassadors. Ambassadors, like Lauren said, we're making the $500,000 mark. As I'm watching couples go by, this is not a just woman's business. Sitting out there in the group is men and women. And to see men encourage their wives and wives encourage their men to do something, then you can change your lives together. I truly think that this has to be, some of us who are single moms, I have several single moms on my team right now, that this has to be what they do to make a living. So by encouraging them, but by placing men in their lives, they actually have my husband to help them with this business as well. My husband got a hug from one of our newest distributors who came into our office that she just needed some information. Totally tracked him down and gave him a hug for giving him this opportunity. So just the men that are in the room, the biggest thing is there are tons of men in this company. And the guy that's at the top, Mark Pentecost, is a coach himself, and he has got a vision. And when you listen to someone who's a leader like that and who can coach you along life, I just find it amazing to be able to be under his leadership. So we had a moment where we took this picture, and obviously I'm not in this picture, but my other big moment, and I will quit talking in a moment. It's the frozen microphone. I was not in this picture because after the event, everybody's making their way down. I don't make my way out, I make my way to the top. So I went right down, I found Mark Pentecost, and I took my picture with him.
She cut through ropes.
I was not supposed to be where I was being. I'm not going to follow there. But you know what? He embraced me. He let them. I handed my phone to somebody else to take a picture. I told him who I was, told him my goal, and that was kind of my aha moment. And each and every one of you can go to the top. You just have to make it. You have to decide on your own. But you are surrounded by a lot of leaders here, so surround yourself by that and get yourself to one of these big events, and you'll feel the difference. Okay.
Hi, my name is Brooke Gerard, and I live here in New Bloomfield, and I am an Emerald. Sorry.
Let it go.
Yeah. This is my first big corporate event. I had been to one of the training universities, but this was the biggest one. And it was kind of the make it or break it moment for me. I've been in over a year, and we spent everything we had for me to go. Because this business has brought me home to my kids. But it's still not quite enough of what we wanted. But when I saw all these different people that have grown at different rates and have still made it, I got over it. I knew that when I came home, I just had to start over, start fresh, and just keep going. And I'm actually getting closer to Diamond now. I have signed more people since I've been home than I have in probably the last 3 months. So that was kind of my moment, was to watch everybody and the different rates that they went and the different levels they were, and they are still climbing. They're not stopping. So that was kind of me just watching everybody else at their rates.
To add to that, I was just on a leadership call yesterday that Mike Patillo, if you guys don't know him, he's our chief networking officer, and he's like our social media guru outside of John Eric, but he was saying yesterday how important it is, if you think of that Derby racehorse, they have their blinders on. Don't look left, don't look right. Do not compare your journey to anybody else's. Don't watch people on our team pages. Don't, watch people on your Facebook feed that are promoting quick and you don't feel like you're going as fast as them. Put your blinders on. This is your journey. There's a reason you're here, and you just got to focus on what your goal is. So I think that that's huge, and I think you saw that there was ambassadors that had been in the company for 7-8 years, and it took them 7 or 8 years to go ambassador, but 7 or 8 years to make $585,000 a year, I think that's worth it. So don't ever think that you're not going as fast as somebody else or anything like that. Don't compare your journey to somebody else's.
Right.
My name is Kara. This was my first big corporate event that I had gone on.
I'm cheering.
Oh, this is my favorite aunt ever. Ever. She's got a cool phone.
She's cool.
She's just pretty awesome. She pees on your feet when you get stung by a stingray. That deserves a standing ovation.
I got stung by a stingray at Green Carpet.
To pee on somebody is a lot of love. So
I changed your diaper. So
you changed my diaper when I was baby. Anyways, so this was my first big corporate event, and I think the biggest thing that I took away was kind of similar to what you guys were saying. But I'm sitting here in the bleachers with me and a bazillion other people that I feel like are really good friends, and I have not met close to any of them other than people on our team. And then I'm looking down at the VIP elite, thank you, of these presidential and ambassadors, and I'm listening to their stories of how they got to where they were, and they are They wake up just like I do every day, and they tie their shoes just like I do every day. And there's nothing different than what we've got going on. And there's no reason why I can't, build a team and support people and change lives just like they have. So my biggest thing was coming home and being like, well, let's keep going. Like, we've got all these people that were in Florida with us that are cheering us on, that we're cheering each other on. There's no reason why we can't get to, where our goal is, and be there. So that was really cool. There's nothing stopping anybody in this business.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. So next, I'm going to let Dr. Bryce go ahead, and he's going to talk about a couple of the products and kind of highlight on some products, give you guys some good information on some of the products, and then we'll come back and do the other little PowerPoint that I have kind of on some social media training, and just like how to really work your Facebook. So I'm going to let Dr. Bryce take over. You get to use the frozen mic. Are you excited?
I am going to break out the song. Can you hear me if I don't use it?
Yeah. I say you don't have to use it. You can power it
I
up.
will start singing Frozen.
I say you're pretty loud.
Alrighty. Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi.
It's interactive now. Let's go. Gentlemen. Ladies, just hang out for a second. Gentlemen, glad you're here. As my wife Zoe said, this is a couple's opportunity. When I see some of the couples that they're talking about, that the ambassador level or black diamond level, a couple just promoted to that level here in the last couple of weeks, and they're at roughly $225,000 per month. That's $2.7 million per year in income from this company. You got to stop and just pause a second, because that doesn't happen with stuff that's not legit, honestly. This stuff is good. The products are excellent. The potential is there. My wife's been a part of Mary Kay for over 25 years. Last week we celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary. So I've known her since, basically the start of doing that. And it's been great. It's good. They've got good products. They've got good things. It's a great company. Mary Kay Ash is a great piece of our world history. But I didn't really rally around her about going and selling somebody some green eyes. It just didn't happen. But I can get excited about her selling greens. I can get excited about me talking to other guys and other people about the greens product, which is why I just bought the website. There's .ninja now instead of .com and stuff. .ninja, is that cool or what? So I got greensguy.ninja. Okay, so we're gonna develop that. It's gonna become a little more information as time goes. But that's the thing that kind of got me into this company, the greens. So I want to talk about that here in a minute. How many of you had your greens today?
Whoop. Oh.
Almost all of us. Who had some Profit today? Some protein. Okay. Who had any Greens Chews today? All right. Who had their Vital Pack today? Core Nutrition, minerals, omega-3 fish oils. All right. Next time we meet, I want to see every hand on every product. Because if you are not a product of the product, don't expect to sell it, first and foremost. It's going to be hard to sell stuff you don't use. If you don't believe in the product, good luck to you. It's going to be tough. So you've got to kind of pick a place to start. You've got to pick a something, and your budget may mean, well, I'm going to start with this one this month. I'm going to add this one next month. And you just kind of figure out how that works. Now, everybody necessarily doesn't need everything under the sun. Although, again, the Mary Kay, my mom was a Mary Kay lady. So 50 years ago, she was using the cleansers and things like that. And I believe that's a great product. But now, with my wife and my high school daughter shifting to the facial line of products and saying, Dad, this stuff is way better than anything we've ever used before, I'm telling ladies that, okay? I'm not using the facial cleanser. Maybe I should, but I haven't been. And so that's something that, again, you can have support from your spouse in some of these things as you learn what it is. So let me get into some of the products, because I could get carried away tonight if we're not careful. And I want to start with the greens. Now, there's the greens on the go. There's the greens in the little can, the greens in the big can. I buy the big can because guess what? We all use it. There's 6 of us in our household. We've got 4 kids. We all do this. We all try to do it every day. If it doesn't happen every day, we try to make up for it. What's unique about the greens is there's a lot of other nutritional companies out there and other places that do vitamins and protein. And you know what? There's a lot of people, guys, that we're bumping into at work and at the gym and other places that are taking protein. And the ProFit, hands down, is a much better quality product, first and foremost. But the greens, you know what? A lot of companies don't have the greens. But yet I've heard on the radio on you know, Glenn Beck and some of the different talk show radios they're advertising, the Texas Superfoods. And there's companies out there trying to do this type of green stuff. But the thing about the greens is that it alkalizes your body. Now, why that's important is this. When I graduated from chiropractic college about 17 years ago, I started in practice, and I started talking to people about alkalizing their body. Because one thing we learned about in nutrition class, which chiropractors have nutrition class, medical doctors don't have that class. So you got to keep that in mind too when you say, well, consult your doctor on this product, consult your doctor on that product. Most of them don't have a clue, honestly. And the drugs that they prescribe to folks are based on what the drug reps are telling them is new, and that they're kind of learning as they go. So keep this in mind, that when we learned about human physiology and nutrition, we learned about body pH. We've all probably had high school chemistry. If you can flash back just for a second, we're not going to stay flashbacks to high school for very long, but high school chemistry, you have acids and bases. Okay? They neutralize each other. So acids are basically the 1 to the 6.9 range, and then 7 is neutral, and then bases are 7.1 up to 14. Okay? And so everything has a number. Pure water is 7. It's neutral. Our blood pH needs to sit between 7.35 and 7.45. And if it doesn't, we get really, really, really sick. Death sick. Okay? And so everything we eat and put in our body either takes us more acidic or more alkaline. The basic. And so we want to be alkaline. Have you all smelled a fresh newborn baby? Y'all gone into a nursery and you just kind of have that really good, it's a good smell.
I know exactly.
She knows what I'm talking about. And I just say that, and all of a sudden in my mind, I can smell that. Okay? How many of you have been in a nursing home? It does not smell the same. Okay? That's the smell of acidity, the nursing home. The nursery is the smell of alkaline. Okay? If you can put those two contexts in your mind, inflammatory diseases like heart disease, cancer, diabetes, arthritis, all that kind of stuff, and you hear people talk about inflammation this, inflammation that, okay, and we're not talking about just, oh, my elbow's sore because I was playing tennis or golf and it's inflamed. We're talking about full body inflammation. In fact, if your arteries aren't inflamed, who cares what we consume? Things that make us more acidic are sugar, white refined sugar, white flour, alcohol, tobacco, and a variety of other foods that could be fruits and vegetables, breads especially as well, in the white flour. But those things kind of describe the typical American diet. Okay? We can eat organic, we can eat as best as we can, but guess what? We still live in America and stuff still happens. I was recently in Cambodia for 2 weeks, this last month. And over there, they kill and cook or pick and eat their food every day, for the most part. And all the villages we were in, it was fresh. The chickens are running around until it's time for them to dress them, and they catch them, kill them, cook them, and eat them. They don't have processed food in the villages over there, and those folks actually are relatively healthy. They may be malnourished in their quantity. There's no fat Cambodians, none of them, because they're eating fresh and they're working hard, but yet their bodies can still go the other way, just like ours can, based on what they eat. If they kind of get into more of the sugars and flours and things like that, their body will, just like the human body here, will do these things. So the cool thing that I learned in college, in chiropractic college nutrition class, is that magnesium is the mineral And potassium is the other mineral that's so good to put in your body. Celtic sea salt. Been a rage for years. I buy that, have bought that for our family. I buy magnesium by the case from different nutritional companies that I've used over the years and sell that to folks, talking about this alkaline acidity problem that we all have. And the key, again, with these inflammatory diseases is if your body isn't acidic, if your body goes more alkaline and stays there, it's not going to have the potential to be chronically sick like so many people we know are. So along come the greens. She's talking about this wrap thing. Okay, this wrap thing sounds cool, it's crazy, it's whatever. But now you start talking nutrition, you're talking my language, because this is something I've studied and something that I sell in my office to supplement chiropractic. For me, chiropractic's first. For me, if I get to $2.7 million a year with this company, I'm still a chiropractor and I'm still taking care of people. Because that's what I do. That's what I was born to do. It'd be nice to have a little extra on the side, right? Like these folks I was talking about.
Couple million extra.
They're supporting, they started their school in Uganda. Is that right? I mean, it's like,
From Africa, yes.
are you kidding me? They started a school, supporting a school with the extra cash. You know, if they got an extra, if they can live on $0.7 million a year and put $2 million into a school, that's a cool thing. So when people are challenging you about, oh, you're money driven, you're money minded, my goal is to where can I make a difference in this world by any extra cash that we don't have to live on. Yeah, let's pay off our debt. Let's be responsible. Let's train up our children in the way that they understand what they're supposed to do and responsibility in life, and give them an opportunity. And as soon as my daughter turns 18 in February, guess what? She's going to be a distributor, and stuff's going to start to happen. That's an important thing. I'd be irresponsible if I didn't do that. So along come the greens. I know about alkalinity. They talk about it here, and I start looking at the products. I'm thinking, okay, broccoli. All right, that's good. Black walnut leaf, blackberry fruit, blueberry fruit, cranberry, dandelion leaf. I guess that'd be all right. Actually, dandelion, did you know, oftentimes brings down blood pressure. Did you know that?
What's your liver?
Cleanses your liver. That's part of how it does that.
How it breaks down fat.
This stuff starts to detox you. It starts to clean out the liver, and your body starts to flush toxins. And so as you flush toxins, and it's really high in, like I say, the magnesium and potassium, because think of this as a whole food. A lot of vitamins out there, and I've always used whole food nutrition in my office with different companies over the last 20 years. Whole food nutrition is, let's take the beet, the apple, the pear, the blueberry, the asparagus, the broccoli, the kale. Let's grind them up, put them together, and make this concoction and this special formula. And then that person takes that as a vitamin supplement, a whole food supplement. Because what does my body need today at this minute? It's going to be different than it was yesterday and tomorrow. And if I'm always using synthetic vitamins, which is your GNC stuff, your Walmart stuff, your Centrum stuff, which is poison. Yes. Did you know that Centrum was, a few years ago, a study came out where they're testing all the different vitamins. Centrum for women was high in mercury. Who needs extra mercury in your diet? Okay? So these ladies you know that are on mercury pills, Centrum for women, you got the edge on them with this core nutrition. My goodness, get that out of your system. You're making yourself more toxic. You need the greens to detoxify and then start to put the good stuff in. We can go on for hours and hours and hours about this stuff, but the point is, the greens caught my attention. As you start to detoxify, you'll start to flush and stuff will start to come out. I was thinking, yeah, man, I want some greens. Let's go, and let's go strong. So I was doing 3 and 4 servings of greens a day for a while. It's good stuff, okay? It cleans you out. I did not notice any more bathroom trips for me at that point than I was before. It was just kind of a normal thing. It's not like a laxative by any means. But guess what I noticed? Mucus drainage, my sinuses, I'm coughing up junk. I can't figure out why. I'm more sensitive maybe to some pollen, some stuff going on. But I realize as I'm pumping in, again, the mucus lining in our body system is a way of detoxifying, and it's just pouring out of me. And stuff's draining and cleaning out. I back off to 1, maybe 2 a day. I like that better. It's not as junky on me, okay? There's going to be things that happen when you take good nutrition. Some folks say, well, can I give this stuff to my kids? Well, can you give them broccoli? You have to be 18 to eat broccoli. Okay? Don't take this unless you're 12. Who picked that age, for crying out loud? Okay? My 12-year-old's more like a 16-year-old, so hey, he needed it 4 years ago, I guess when he was 8. And nonetheless, you got to be sensitive, you got to be smart about it. If somebody's taking medication and you start taking good nutrition, guess what your body's going to do with good nutrition, better nutrition? It's going to work better. It's going to work more efficient. All of a sudden, the medications you're taking are going to be more effective. You're going to want to be talking with your medical doctor as to, do I need this much medication? Maybe I don't. Maybe I'm getting lightheaded and passing out because I didn't need my blood pressure medication today. For crying out loud, if your blood pressure is 60/40, don't take your pill. Talk to your doctor and say, maybe I'm overdosed on this. Well, maybe he says you're overdosed on greens or something else. This is healthy nutrition. This is food. So we're trying to supplement what we aren't getting because we're not picking the mango off the tree and eating it like they are in Cambodia and some of these other countries. Okay? We're not doing it here. The food you get in the grocery store, I'm sorry, even if it's organic, it's not as good as it was. That apple that I ate today is not as good as the apple I ate 20 years ago, 25 years ago when I was in high school, whatever the case may be. Because the soil's depleted, toxins in the air, there's just a whole bunch of junk. So it's different. So food is food is food. There's critics out there who say, well, just eat more vegetables. Great. 8 servings of fruits and vegetables and 2 scoops of this stuff? Okay, you know what 8 servings looks like on your plate? I don't have the stomach space for it, nor the colon tolerance. Okay? So I like the greens. Alkalinity is important. I don't know any man, woman, potentially child, but I'll stick with man and woman for now, that doesn't need this stuff. So my thing in my office is when I'm talking to people, I've got greens on the go, I've got my card, I give them a couple samples, they're $1 a piece. I say, I'm going to give you $2 worth of greens right here. I want you to try it. And I want you to try the berry, I want you to try the orange, whatever the flavors are that you like. I like the orange if we're using it in orange juice or some type of juice. I like the berry for everything else. If it's just straight water, it's berry. And I'll give them that opportunity. And I'll say, you try it, because here's what it's going to do. I've got folders, you can Google it. There's all kinds of stuff on my website and other websites about alkalinity. Okay? There's critics out there that say, oh, you don't need to do this. The blood's going to stay between 735 and 745. Okay, if it does, and for most of us it does stay there, where does it get the magnesium and the potassium to do that? It pulls it out of your bone. It pulls it out of your liver. It pulls it out of your muscle. Basic human physiology is when you want to contract the muscle, it needs calcium. When you want to relax, it needs magnesium for the muscle fibers to do their thing. Okay? I'm breaking it down really basic. If you don't have enough magnesium, your muscles don't relax all the way, and guess what? You get chronic tightness. Hamstrings are a little bit tight. Back of the neck's a little bit tight. Those chronic spots, okay, we look for the problem that creates then in your spine, and we focus on the disc and the nerve with chiropractic. But if the muscle never changes, it goes right back to where it was. And so your exercise routine, your life, the stress of the daily activities brings on some of that muscle tension. And if you're low on magnesium and potassium and things like that, your body just kind of gets stuck in this state. And so for a lot of folks, this is a big, big game changer. For me, again, it's the core first thing. You've got the Vital Pack here, and in here there's a fish oil. The rage for the last 10 to 15 years has been fish oils, fish oils, fish oils. Again, fish swim in the ocean where there's toxicities, mercury. If they're catching the fish off the east coast of the United States, it's going to be bad fish for you. If they're catching it in Alaska, it's better because you don't have all the toxins in the water. Long story short, you've got to have a good quality oil. People buy cheap oil at Walmart and Sam's Club and get a great big bottle for $3. Okay, guess what? When you go to the fish factory, there's different things they do there. Okay? The really good stuff they take care of, and they get it out and maybe never gets frozen. It goes fresh. You've got subgrades of things. They process it different ways. And the stuff they scoop off the floor is what they make into fish sticks, right? Y'all realize that? Okay. It's the hot dog of the fish industry, is their fish sticks. They do that with oils too. There's rancid oils that are out there. People say, oh, I tried fish oil, maybe it burped, and oh man, that's gross stuff. You got bad oil. You got different choices at the gas station, right? You can spend the extra and put in the 91 octane, or you can buy the cheap 87 like most of us do. But you know what happens is my car does better, and it gets better gas mileage on the 91, and when I really look at it, it might be worth it if I did that. For the longevity of that engine. This is your engine. What are you willing to invest in your engine? You've got to put high quality stuff in there. So the fish oils are important. Nordic Naturals is a common, widespread, well-known, high-quality, good fish oil. This stuff is more potent than that and less costly. And it's high-quality stuff. So in this little package right here, in the It's Vital Complete Nutrition Pack, is a fish oil for the day. Again, an anti-inflammatory. It helps lube up the blood vessels so cholesterol doesn't stick. It helps joints. It helps your muscles. Anti-inflammatory is very good. There's 3 vitamins, the vitamins, and then there's 2 minerals. The reason they don't put them all together is because that'd be one big old pill if they did. Okay, and you have different stuff that's in them. I'm not going to read all the products here, but here's the cool thing about the vitamins, the green ones in here. Okay, the NutriBound Whole Food Complex. Again, whole food. They've got pomegranate, they've got cranberry juice, they've got apple, pineapple, tomato, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. You're getting your Brussels sprouts in here, okay? It's a good way to get it, although my family loves Brussels sprouts, so we're not going to give those up quite yet. Now, Mind Body Energy Blend, digestive support, which includes enzymes, which are necessary to break down food, to break down the other stuff that's in the greens and it's in everything else you're taking, so your body can digest it. If you don't have the enzymes, stuff doesn't go through the right way, you don't absorb it well. Your metabolic support blend, which is green leaf tea, to boost the metabolism. Again here, everything's kind of got just a little bit of a metabolism boost in it. The immune support blend, the cardio support for your heart, and the antioxidant phytonutrients, which is your plant nutrient blend. Your blueberries, which are high power antioxidants. Those types of things aren't in Centrum. They're not in GNC. They're not in that stuff, but they are in here. So right off the bat, when you start looking and trying to compare, okay, how much vitamin A does it have? How much vitamin C does it have? I don't care so much about that, but what's bioavailable? Did you all know that calcium carbonate that they use in Tums, it's calcium, it's all natural, right? And they advertise that on TV and on the stuff. Oh, take your calcium, take your calcium, take your calcium, okay? It comes, oh, I'm getting my calcium. Guess what? It's rock powder. You're not going to absorb it. Calcium citrate, lactate, a few other things, which again those other things are blended into this as well, are going to allow you to absorb what you need to. So you can put calcium in, and if stuff out there is all natural, but if your body can't use it, so what? You got to make sure it's bioavailable. So again, this whole food stuff is bioavailable and can make a difference. The green chews. It's not the greens packaged in a chewable form. It's a separate product. Okay? It says green chews, antioxidant, and prebiotic support. Who knows the difference between prebiotic and probiotic? You heard those terms used, right? Who knows what a probiotic is? Shout it out if you know.
Helps with digestive health.
Okay? Helps with digestive health. Do we know what it is? It's good bacteria. Okay? Oh, bacteria is bad. I need to take an antibiotic because I have a bacteria. Guess what? One day when you were 7, you had a sinus infection and you got bacteria. Or you got antibiotics. You killed good bacteria in your stomach and in your colon. Guess what? You use antibacterial soap at home. So you don't have any good bacteria on your hands anymore when you lick your fingers after eating fried chicken. You're not getting the good bacteria in. You have to replenish. If you don't, your body can get sick. Again, digestive health as well as your overall immune system. Prebiotic is the food the probiotic needs. Okay? Your pre before your pro. So if you eat a couple chews a day, you're giving yourself inulin, some fiber, some stuff that the probiotic, when it gets in there from your greens, because it's in your greens, when that goes in and it hatches, literally, once it gets wet and starts to do its thing, it starts to hatch and grow and reproduce. Where's the food? Where's the food? Where's the food? Okay? Comes over here to the food bar and starts grabbing prebiotic. If it's not there, it goes hungry, it doesn't survive very long, doesn't reproduce like it should. So it's more bang for your buck on your body when you combine the two. I know on most all their products, they say this stuff is intended for adults, not children. Consult with your doctor if you're pregnant or nursing. Again, those are statements that they need to print on there. Those are safety things they have to print on there. So you're going to want to use your discretion. If people are on medication and have questions about this stuff, you just kind of, again, tell them, monitor that with your doctor. People know how they feel. If you start drinking greens, you start feeling weird, stop drinking the greens and figure out why. You may be over-medicated, or there may be another problem you didn't know you have, and now you've got to go get something else figured out because your body's working differently and better. You are now more in tune with it, and you now had a kidney problem you didn't know, and now you're figuring it out. So keep all that in mind. But I have no problem giving my elementary kids a chew every day or two, or even a couple a day. If the kid is too small and was going to choke on a chew, cut it in half, cut it in fourths. Let them kind of gum it, chew it. Don't give them a whole one, but give them part of one if you want to. I don't see, at this point, any reason why we can't or shouldn't, although that's my opinion, not It Works' opinion. And with that, I still qualify it with use common sense. And if their body kind of reacts weird, again, give them small bits like that, then obviously watch and be careful. The only thing I didn't cover here yet is the ProFit. Protein is the main building block of a major part of our body. The thing I like about this ProFit protein is the fact that there's 3 special things involved here, okay? Number one, they use a product, a proprietary blend of stuff that they call Sustain It, okay? It's the actual proteins they use and the blend of proteins that they use that, again, become more bioavailable to your body. And so they have a higher quality of protein than just a whey protein or just a soy protein. And it's a blend of both of those. And they all have their pros and cons. And if you're just doing one all the time or the other, you may not get the most benefit from the protein that you're taking. When you exercise and you break down muscle and tear it apart and you feel that, oh, it's achy, sore, but then you do it again the next day or the next week and you start to get bigger muscles, it's because when the muscles get torn down, they start to repair. And they get bigger when they repair. You give it the protein that it needs to repair, it's going to be more effective. Which is why all your big bodybuilders definitely are using protein, among other things. Jeff back there is a lifting maniac. He's getting big and bulked out because of the ProFit. The Sustain It, like I say, is a really good blend. The Ultimate ProFit, what was I going to say here? Oh, the FitZyme. They've got a blend of enzymes in here as well. And again, those enzymes are needed to break down the nutrition that's in our body and digest through what it's supposed to be, and they've got that built in. The Fit Boost, again, is going to be something that gives you a little bit of a boost as far as your metabolism goes, as well as your even mental state. How about that? The chocolate version, I usually do vanilla on just for smoothies and drinks and where we mix fruit in, and just my morning shake that I do. I'm just kind of, I could kind of even just nothing real special. We'll put orange juice along with some coconut juice or coconut milk in there, and wow, that's all I got to say with some of this. There's millions of recipes out there, but the cocoa powder, the chocolate powder, that's got a little bit of a mental lift to it. Okay, it's a little bit of a pick-me-up, and so keep that in mind too. As this product definitely has a different blend of that. What am I missing? What am I missing? Any questions? We got time for a couple quick questions?
Yeah.
Any questions on any of these products so far?
I just wondered if you have a certain way that you take your product, like greens first thing in the morning, run into stuff, or is there any specific?
There's lots of different opinions out there on that, and depending if you're taking ThermoFit, depending if you're taking fat fighters. Don't take your fat fighters close to when you take your fish oil, okay? Because the oil's fat. Guess what your fat fighters do? They do their job, right? They shut it down to some degree. It's what you feel comfortable with. Thanks for that, because I did want to mention, I think they've said, if I'm not mistaken, that the pack, just take it all at once in the morning.
Yeah.
It's time released.
It's time released. And I know that's what they say. I'm still a proponent. I'm old school in the fact that most of us kind of sort of get hungry 3 times a day. Okay? And so to take nutrition when your body's calling for it, I'm still an old school guy in that sense. Okay? There's enough package in there that if I want to take that whole thing and I really haven't eaten breakfast and I've only had part of my shake, I don't know if I like that for myself. It's time released, but if it's down in the colon by 4:30 in the afternoon, from 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's releasing in the colon, is it going to be as effective as if I just put it in 2 hours before and it's still up in my small intestine? 18 feet up, because that thing goes all over the place. I know, see, different opinions. The company will say one thing, some health experts will say another, but I'm kind of about, kind of stagger to some degree. Do your fish oil and your minerals and your vitamins first thing, and then at lunch your other two, and then your other two. If it's easier to get them all in, get them all in. For crying out loud, don't say, "Oh, I forgot." Well, if you forget every day, do them all in the morning. That's the obvious. Just get them in you. If you haven't started, start. You're going to get out of this what you put into it. So the people that are ambassadors, the people that are black diamonds, that are really having a big team of people because they're excited about the product and they're sharing it with folks, then all of a sudden they're putting more into it, they're going to get more out of it. So they didn't get there just because, that type of a thing. Greens, I'll usually drink about maybe 1/4 of a bottle of water and then put a pack of greens on the go, or a couple scoops in the rest of that, 3/4 bottle of water, shake it up, and I'll sip on that as my morning goes, or in the 10 minutes it takes me to get to my office, I'll down the whole thing. It just depends on my mood, I guess. And then I'll sip on my protein as the morning goes, or vice versa. I'll say, I don't want to carry the protein in today. I'm going to get that done before I get there, and it's just the way it goes. So there's really, I don't think, any right or wrong way. The protein, though, can be used as a meal replacement. It's got the fibers that are in there. That was a third thing I liked about that I didn't mention. The fiber that's in the protein swells up. It makes you full. And with all these products, you'll get more out of all of it if you drink more water. Okay? Not more energy drinks, although they are awesome. I love them. Guys, when I've talked to some other guys, and I say, you know what, hair, skin, and nails, I think you'd like this, and they look at me thinking, what are you talking about? And I say, you're bald. Your hair's receding. And I know guys that are taking that and boom, it's filled in. I know guys that have beards that are just, they're patchy a little bit. Their beards fill in. Okay? Ladies, they may not admit it, but that's a big deal. So don't feel bad about, hey, this is called hair and beard. Make your own label and slap on it. I don't care. You're going to have to clip his nails more, but whatever. You will figure that out. It'll be one of those things where it's cool. I talked to somebody the other day, and she was talking about her husband being on board. And her husband, then I got a chance to talk to him later as well, and we kind of came to the conclusion that when he went to work, and he's kind of in the construction business, so he's working around a bunch of macho guys. And so he's got his greens with him that he's taking. He's drinking his greens every day. He's taking some Blitz cards that have this crazy wrap thing on it. you know, and he's going to the construction site and stuff like this, and he's got his protein shake, all right? So he's talking to these other construction guys, and he's like, listen, I got a deal for you, because this company is going to make your wife more pretty, and it's going to give you bigger muscles and have more vitality, and those guys are sold right there. Anything that gives them more energy when they're running out of steam at 3 in the afternoon, for sure by 7 at night when they're getting home and trying to play with kids. The energy drinks are good too, but the protein, again, for muscle repair. Guys know that language. Guys know about that protein stuff. And like I say, with the greens as the anti-inflammatory, alkaline, it's very important for energy and vitality. And so I think he's going to do okay. Again, as a team effort with his wife. Those are important things to think about. And there's ways to approach different people with different things from a business side, which is not my forte tonight, nor the social media thing or whatever. But there's rules out there that do make sense. Can I say one quick plug on social media? Listening to John, Eric, and some of these other guys that are out there, if you don't know who we're talking about, start stalking all of this on Facebook and Twitter and stuff. And there's guys out there that we can start following. As you start following them and they start talking about their expertise, potentially with Facebook and social media, John Eric said the other night on a Periscope, which is happening here, which is a cool way to get the message out to folks, that anything in life, and I agree with this, anything in life that's successful is based on relationships, isn't it? Your marriage is successful because of that relationship. Your family is successful because of that relationship. Your church life and family is good because of those relationships. If you don't have a good relationship at work, it's not good there. So everything's based on relationships. Social media is relationships. Okay? We've got passion about what we do. Whether it be passion about it works, passion about a particular book we've read and we think everybody needs to read it, passion about chiropractic, passion about our church. We need to earn the right to tell them about it, first and foremost. So the consensus right now is, with Facebook, there's algorithms and all this math stuff involved in the computer world, that if you've got 500 Facebook friends, you don't see all 500 of them every day, do you? If you go do a quick scroll, you see the same handful or two of people all the time. You're like, hey, where's that buddy from high school that I know I'm Facebook friends with, but I don't see his stuff, and I got to go search for him and type his name in and hit go and get there, and oh, okay. Well, now the next day and the day after that, I'm getting stuff on my feed from that dude. Okay, so the computer world is smart with this way. We need to go to our friends out there and like what they're posting. Whether you like them or not, we need to just hit the like button on different random people. And for every 20 likes that you do, then you get to post something yourself. So keep track of that. And I may be different numbers than what you guys are thinking. But that's what I heard this past weekend. Out of every... So now you've liked 20 things and you get to post something. And of the things you post, only 20% can be anything about your company. The other 80% is about your family. It has nothing to do with a sale. It has everything to do about relationships. And that seems to be very, very important for people trusting you. So then if you come back and say, hey, I got something really cool that's changing my life, hashtag Now Adventure, and they're cruising across the lake or something like that this afternoon, you know, I want to be a part. I want to see what they're doing because it looks like that family's having fun. Life's an adventure. Oh, there's something about the greens on the go. When you're on the go and you need to go, it's greens on the go. And that was my post standing in front of an elephant in Cambodia about 3 weeks ago. I had my water bottle, my greens things here, and I'm leaning back, and the elephant's just about ready to step in my foot and smack me in the head with his trunk. But nonetheless, it was fun, right? People wanted to watch that. At the same time, I was doing something fun and creative socially on social media. Again, the only reason I bring that up and you all bring that up is because that's what's made this company explode like it has. In case you don't realize it, That's what happened about 8 years ago at the last presidential election, about 2 elections ago. Is they got a young group of people, social media going, and that kind of changed the course of this country with the presidential election. And so those types of things are real. Did I answer your question about kind of the routine? Because it's really kind of whatever. Just don't drink the greens in the evening. Don't drink the energy in the evening. Unless you need to stay up for a while. Because lots of times that's going to keep you going. It's going to keep you perked up and awake. But if you have one at 3 or 4 in the afternoon, it might carry you through the kids' bedtime without falling over, which sometimes is tough for me if I don't. Right? Okay. Protein after a workout. Here's Miss CrossFit, Fulton CrossFit in Fulton. Fulton CrossFit's next to us, and they are
Fulton.
It's a Fulton.
Fulton.
And she'll tell you too that as a muscle recovery drink after you work out, if you want to decrease that soreness that next day, ProFit. Drink your shake as you're leaving the gym. Have it ready to go. Replenish with that. And it really reduces the amount of lactic acid in your muscles. So do the greens. Lactic acid in your muscles is part of that, one of the biggest parts of making your body more acidic compared to anything else. And so the greens, again, maybe before you go in, ProFit on the way out, and you've got a really good blend of stuff that's going to make a difference.
Huge.
Question?
I want to record you
Uh-oh.
for my team that's not here, but
Okay.
I have so many people ask, what's the difference between a probiotic and a prebiotic? And I know you've gone over that, but when we want to explain that to someone, what is a very basic, simple, non-scientific way that we can tell our potential customers the difference between the two and why they need both?
Okay. A probiotic is going to be the good bacteria that our body needs for good, proper digestion and a healthy immune system. And when we have antibiotics, whether we take them prescription or they're in meats and milk and stuff like that we drink from the store, we kill the good bacteria, so we need to replenish them. And we call probiotics the good bacteria that we put back into our system. So that's going to be in the greens. But when they get in there, they need food to live. And so the food that they need is called a prebiotic. Inulin is one of the things, and a variety of other fibers. And so the two work well together. You can do just probiotics, but when you can feed the army, they're going to be more productive. And it's going to be a lot more beneficial to the overall health of that person.
Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you, thank you.
You are the bomb.
Any other questions?
I was gonna say that.
Yes, ma'am.
I've seen a lot of
Yes.
testimonials and questions about how greens promote or help with breast milk production. I've seen a lot of people, I know a lot of people who are breastfeeding right now, and they want to know what in greens helps with that.
Sure. Broccoli, kale, cranberries, blueberries, the list goes on. And you know what we look for in America is that magic bullet. What's that one vitamin I can take that's going to make sure I live forever, look like I haven't, and, fill in the blank. It's whole food. And so that's the thing, when your body gets what it needs nutritionally, it can make what it needs to make. There's nothing better for a little one than what the mom is going to make for it. In fact, when we're studying in college, when we're studying in chiropractic college about how everything works, the mother's body actually will change right now when the baby latches onto nurse from what it had earlier in the day. The formula that it's creating and letting go is different because of the connection between the baby's mouth and saliva telling the mother's body what to do and what it needs. So your immune system is passed over. All the good stuff that baby needs is passed over. And you don't get that in formula with a rubber nipple. It doesn't happen. So you have healthier babies because of that. And when you can produce what they need, because you have the building blocks, then it's even that much better. And so it's whole food nutrition. Did mom eat all that stuff yesterday to get it to the baby today? I guarantee you they didn't. So that's where the nutrition works better. Yeah?
I have a couple questions. You talked about the greens, you talked about the protein, right? How does that metabolize in your body? How well do you absorb it? Like a lot of the vitamins and stuff like that, you don't really absorb, you don't metabolize very well. Even my medication doctors give you. How well does that metabolize in your body?
Well, and that's the thing with this company and their products, is that they're very bioavailable. There's other companies out there that are very bioavailable too, but most of the ones you come in context aren't. One of the things, the time release aspect that she mentioned, I was going to see if I could read it on the box. If not, everything I've read and told you, it's on your website. Do you know that? So number one, next time when we meet, raise your hand that you've taken it and tried it and said, I think I can do this. Number two, I'm going to ask you if you read all the product information sheets, and there's about 3 to 4 pages on each one of them, and there's good stuff in there. There's sugar coating, literally, there's sugar coating on these vitamins, in a variety of different sugars, not just, not white sugar, but sugar coatings that your body recognizes, and it'll work to digest one of them, and then it has to work through the next one, and then it has to work through the next one, before it gets inside and finally lets everything out. So that's kind of part of the time release process. The enzymes, and there's different enzymes in different products. So if you use a system, we all talk about systems in this world. There's systems that are put together to make a difference. Just like in chiropractic. Somebody comes into my office, we have a system. If we don't do the whole system, you ain't getting the whole thing. You're only getting a partial benefit. So you've got to use a whole system to have the full thing happen. So the enzymes are one of the main things, and there's enzymes scattered throughout those, and those start to break down the protein. Those start to make the protein more bioavailable. If your gut, if you're small and then your large intestine are inflamed and irritated and covered with junk from your lifestyle, you're not going to absorb very well. So over a period of 2 or 3 months of taking greens and doing stuff better, you detoxify and clean out, and now you're going to absorb better in 3 months than you did today. So if somebody says, I tried it for a week and didn't work, you really need it. You are sick. If you didn't notice a change over the course of this week, oh my goodness, I need to sign you up for the 6-month plan, and then we'll talk again. Take it every day for 6 months, and then we'll talk. Because they're sick. Most people are really, really sick. You don't realize it. You know what? How many people are walking around like this? In the morning. I mean, I am. If I don't do what I'm supposed to do, I'm tired. You got to get your sleep, but you got to get your nutrition too to fuel the fire. Yeah.
Okay, the other question was, the protein, that's primarily the protein, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The protein, like different types of protein, make a difference with the blood sugar level, blood sugars and thyroid and stuff like that. And research has been showing that the lack of protein on neurons is a possibility of ADHD symptoms. So, you being a doctor, does this protein affect the same or even better to like the neurons, the epicenter, as far as even ADHD symptoms?
Sure. You've heard you are what you eat. Okay? All you eat's a Big Mac, guess what it's going to look like? A Big Mac. Okay? You are what you eat. So, yeah, I've had a Big Mac or 2 in my day, okay? We're all a work in progress. It's not where we've been, it's where we're headed, where we're going. This protein is just as good, or I'm going to say a light year better than any other protein that you're going to find anywhere else out there on the face of the earth right now to absorb in and give your body the amino acids that you're talking about, that the neurons need, okay? Again, we can break down into DNA and RNA and all this kind of crazy stuff and get super technical, but just know this, is that the proteins is what your body needs. And proteins are needed on all levels of our body. from neurons and nerve connections. A neuron is what's in the brain and goes to the spinal cord. And if it doesn't have what it needs, you've got protein and you got all these little amino acids. And you got all these little amino acids that made up this protein. Okay? So if this plate of sandwiches is the protein molecule, then I won't touch it with my fingers because you might want to eat it. That's the amino acid. Okay? The neuron needs that little thing, but it gets it from the platter. It gets it from the protein. And so, yes, bioavailability, I'd put this up there with, up at the top. I have no reason at this point to doubt that. So, bioavailable. All righty. I won't get into wraps, but that's a whole other story. Have fun with it. Life's an adventure. Make sure your day has a great you. Okay? Because we are what we make it. So make sure, tomorrow's a new one. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know what it looks like. But I want to make sure I'm great for it. To help me be great for it, I've got good products. I've got good family, an awesome wife. And if we can support each other in this process, if I can encourage her, I don't have time. I don't have time from a business standpoint to effectively do things like you might. But she may, so go get it and make it count. All right. Any questions later? Facebook message me or stalk me down and whatever. Would love to do any private questions if we need to later. And you'll think of something and I'll think of something and we'll meet up in cyberspace. All right.
Come get your neck pop.
Our very own Dr. Dawn.
I know.
That was awesome.
Okay. All right.
One thing I was going to say about the bioavailability, if you have somebody questioning like that their vitamin is better than ours, one thing that I've seen people do is take, like, for instance, our hair, skin, and nails versus the hair, skin, and nails at Walmart has their own brand. Put it in a glass of water and see which one dissolves quicker. That Walmart one will still be sitting in whole form hours later, and the hair, skin, and nails will be completely dissolved. That's the bioavailability. It's going to digest better in your system.
Is that on all the supplements or just on that one?
No, on all of our supplements. Like, they're all, the bioavailability is the big thing about our products.
I think that picture's in Legacy Makers.
Yeah, I think it is too. But just if you want to, if somebody wants to argue that with you, I mean, you could show them that, you know, simple fact there. We are going to run through a couple of social media things. We're going to tie this up here pretty quick. But okay, so some social media do's and don'ts. Just after being in the business for 18 months, I've seen, you know, like Kristen and I went back the other day. I actually scrolled all the way back to February 2nd, 2014 and looked at some of my initial posts compared to what I post today. Some of her initial posts, we screenshotted some stuff. So some of it I looked on the screen is kind of hard to read, but we're going to kind of talk you through just a couple of different tips with social media. So post smart. Look at the picture in the back. Don't post stuff like that.
I didn't even see that last night.
Okay, so this is my post from February 11th. I was in the business for 9 days. This is an ad. Nobody wants to see ads. One thing that John Eric, I have learned so much. If you do not follow him on Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, follow him. John Eric Mosler. He is our social media guru. We hired him in January. He's worked for Google. He's worked for Pixar. He is a genius. And one of the most amazing men I've ever met in my life. He gave out his cell phone number one day on Facebook and said, whoever wants to call me, I'm driving. If you have questions, just call me. Like, who does that? So, one thing that he's talked about is this should be an adventure. This should be a journey. You want people to watch your journey. You don't want people, the best way I can describe it is think of your DVR at home. You can hop channels now. You can fast forward through commercials. Nobody wants to see a commercial. We don't want to be advertised to. So your Facebook feed, they don't want to be advertised to either. So that is a bad post. Don't post like that. I put on there, #1 seller, then add a container of greens, you get free shipping. That's great information. Don't put it on your Facebook feed. If you're trying to sell somebody a skinny pack and a message, say, hey, guess what? You could add on a thing of greens and you're going to get free shipping too. Don't put that in your Facebook feed. Here's another one Kristen did that we just kind of talked about. Like, that just looks like a commercial. Put yourself, we all have those. Grab like a real looking picture. Don't put that. The ads I hate to see are the screenshot from like the It Works product catalog that has like a bottle of fat fighters. Here are the benefits. This is what it is, and it's $23. That's an ad. Don't post that kind of stuff. Okay, so what could be better about this post? You guys probably can't read it, but this is Kristen's, and it says, I couldn't be more happy for my husband. He's using ThermoFit supplement, and he's already down 13.4 pounds. We finally found the perfect fit for jump-starting his weight loss journey. Excellent post. Should have been Jeff in a picture holding the bottle of ThermoFit. And she realizes that now, like that was her one of her very first posts, and she's like, can you imagine, you know, if people would have actually seen Jeff holding that, seen my husband being supportive using these products? So, be personal with people. Customers buy from you. Customers will buy from you if they can trust you. They want to see you using the products. That's, you know, Dr. Bryce has talked about it. You have got to be a product of the product or you're not going to be successful in this business. That is one reason I preach the ADBB auto shipment. It's not because I want you to spend $80, it's because I want you using the products. You're not going to be able to sell something. It blows my mind to me to be at the level I'm at, and people will, like, I'll post a picture of me drinking my greens, and people are like, oh, you actually take those? Yes, I take them. I sell them. So why would I not take them? So one thing that I love is if you don't want to do 2 boxes of wraps on your auto shipment, try one product and I think everybody should always have greens on the go samples. I would prefer to have samples of berry, because that way if somebody just accidentally adds into a bottle of water, they can choke it down. If they put orange in a bottle of water, not happening. So,
am I the only oddball? Like, I'm not drinking water all the time.
I have a distributor who can too. It's
I have
crazy.
a couple people that do, but so this is the next thing. This is another one of Kristen's that we kind of talked about when we were going through this. Leave your prices off. Don't put you want to draw people in so they ask you more questions. If you're throwing your prices up, what do they need to ask you? They get all their information off that one post. I call it vague booking. Be vague in your post so people want to know more information so they come talk to you. I think I have this in here, but in case I don't, and if I do, I'll just blow over it. But I also don't, even though I paid for a GoDaddy site, you will rarely ever see me post the website, you know, our general, it works one with the space and all of that, so we can post it. I don't ever give people my website. Even in a message, I was coaching somebody through a group message the other day, and she was like, okay, well, if you want to try the greens, go to my page, or go to my webpage, this is it. You're going to click shop, you're going to do this, you're going to do this. Let me know if you have any more questions. No, I don't give people my website until they are ready to order. I say, okay, are you ready to order right now? No, not right now. Okay, you're ready to order right now? Okay, so I'm going to have you go to this website. Tell me when you see my picture in the top right-hand corner. So I know they're there. I know they're on my site, not the generic site. And then I say, okay, hit shop. Okay, go to the greens categories. Pick your greens, put them in your cart. Okay, are you there? You're going to scroll down. You're going to see a green button that says Enroll in Auto Shipment. That's our loyal customer program. That's where you're going to get my prices. You're going to get free shipping after 3 months. And it's an amazing program. Like Lauren was saying, I love the way that they explained it, like the Sam's membership. Your Sam's membership, you have to pay your membership every year. Our program, you do either 3-month commitment or you pay $50 one time and you're a loyal customer for life. So I think that the Sam's membership is a great way to explain it. So, one thing that I have noticed in myself from when I started, everything was about join me, join me. It was all about me. And I think that through the adventure and through the journey, you want to bring people into this because it's an amazing thing. You want them to be part of this with you, not like you're trying to just pull in as many people as you can. It's an amazing company. It's an amazing adventure, and you want to bring as many people on that adventure as you can. So show people why they should join your team. Don't just tell them you need to join my team. Show them why. So invite them on your adventure. Show them in photos what we mean by that friendship, fun, and freedom. Amy Spence talked about it a couple of meetings ago, to use the 6 F's when you're posting. Friendship, fun, freedom, family, food, and fashion. Those are some ideas of ways to think about what you should be posting about. We actually have a girl on our team that uses her business page a lot, and she actually pays to boost recipes because that gets a lot of followers on her business page, which was totally like mind-blowing to me when you have like a wrap business and you're paying to get people to come look at recipes to your business page. She signs so many strangers, it's insane. But so people, as weird as it seems, like people want to see your face. They want you to take selfies. They want to see pictures of your food. Like, people like that. We all like to kind of stalk each other. Okay, sorry. Didn't put a disclaimer that you guys are in these.
I won't sing later.
So I love this picture. One, it has the Boostrom Adventure. So, you know, if you don't want to use your last name, like whatever. I love the hashtags. If you guys don't understand hashtags, I didn't. I used to like write sentences for hashtags. The Boostrom Adventure, now anytime she types that, it kind of takes your stuff to like its own little folder. So if somebody was to click on that hashtag on Facebook, it would take them to everything that she has hashtagged Boostrom Adventure. So this is not an It Works post, even though they have It Works shirts on. So that's what I love about it. But it says, karaoke party on our trip home. We sound awful. Hashtag sing it, hashtag no shame, hashtag Saturday fun, hashtag Boostrom Adventure. So her last post about Boostrom Adventure might have been them in the gym drinking their Profit. So they're throwing their products in with their overall family adventure or journey. Celebrate the little things. This one's really hard to read, and I'm going to kind of show you guys what it is. But a lot of people in this business, I hear, especially when they first start off, that they don't know, how am I supposed to talk about the business when I haven't really made any money yet? Or I don't have Ashley Renow's success story. And so this is Hillary Buford. If you guys don't follow her, go follow her. She's an excellent lifestyle poster. Lifestyle posts are, I post a lot of lifestyle posts. It's not so much going to be, it's just more about, it's about your life. It's not about the business, or, you know, you're bringing people into the business through your adventure. But this says, oh, it's really hard to read. Wrap, God, I can't even read that.
And she's got the cutest little
Basically, she spent
Wrap
cash on.
bought us some delicious locally made pastries for breakfast. And then she explains like in detail, pesto plus bacon plus Gouda plus rosemary on a biscuit. And they scarfed them up, and it also bought them some fresh flowers. She took a picture of her pastry. So there's that food post people like to see. And what's a pastry cost? $2? And a bouquet of flowers, $10 maybe? So she's claiming that her Wrap Cash bought that. She, you know, she's a diamond, but you know, maybe her first paycheck was only $15. So she's using that in her life. You know, some people may be like, oh, I would love to have a fresh bouquet of flowers on my table at home. You know, whatever. You fill up your tank of gas, post it. You never know those little things that people might need. So something that somebody said, I can't remember who, at Green Carpet, was talking about dripping on people. And so this is kind of that where you're like putting those, what's it, subliminal messages? That's kind of like what I mean with this adventure. You may not 100% be talking about It Works, but you've got these subliminal messages in there that's pulling it all back together. We have a purpose behind what we post all the time. And so drip on people, little bits about the company, products, and business. So this is, it's kind of funny, it's Hillary in the bathtub with her bottle of exfoliating peel, and it said, I just got to go ahead and tell you, I deserve this peace and quiet and pampering session. I use this peel at least twice a week. I can't believe how moisturizing it is. It's not a big obnoxious, like, blasting post of the exfoliating peel, but people are gonna look at that picture because they're like, she's posting a picture in the bathtub, like she's got candles lit, you know, it's just that it draws people into it. Chelsea McGill, back there, my little fair rat. She was at the county fair last week, and she's got her daughter on her lap. I think they're watching maybe a demolition derby, and she said, I love that I can help a new teammate get their business launched from literally anywhere. Adeline sat on my lap the entire time, and I didn't have to miss a minute of the fair. Hashtag, yep, I'm a fair rat. My kind of job, making money, holding my babies. All you need is a cell phone and a dream. And something else I love in here is her emojis. John Eric talked about emojis at Green Carpet. some people's brain processes images 60,000 times quicker than they do words. So use your emojis, because that's what attracts people. Are trying to like figure out the story with your emojis, and that attracts people to go ahead and read that whole post. Oh, Miss Megan's legs over here. I think somebody tried to say that your legs were fake. Sarah posted about Megan's legs. This is that being fun and being vulnerable. So here, they're just being goofy. They've got themselves wrapped up. If you haven't seen these girls do a wrap party, they do a really fun wrap party online. But those legs, I posted my legs the other day. I posted my stomach. Megan's got her legs up there. Before it works, when I posted my legs in a bikini bottom, not a chance. But you doing that is going to make that other person on Facebook think, wow, she's willing to do that, so I know I can go and confide in her that my legs look the same way and I'm not comfortable with them and I want her to help me. So I think that being vulnerable is huge. Once you can put yourself out there, it's scary. It really is, I understand. But once you can put yourself out there, people are going to trust you more. We went to the pool and planned this meeting yesterday, a group of 4 of us. Just every day brings new adventures with friends. It doesn't even say anything about it works. But there's pictures, we've got our kids in it, and we're planning the meeting with our children with us. Oh, Lauren, here you go. I love this picture because then again, that picture looks like it has nothing at all to do with it works, but if you read, somebody's going to be drawn to that picture, then they're going to read it. It sells, I sell skinny wrap, supplements, and houses. Oh, and I babysit my daughter's babies with a bunch of hashtags. They're all so creepy. They are all. Oh, Miss Emerson with her foot-long hot dog. They're seriously all about their hot dogs at the Montauk County Fair. Hashtag Eller Adventure. Again, this is a journey that you're inviting people into. Hope Hollering is brand new in this business, and she is blowing my mind. Natural born leader, she's going to do phenomenal in this business. But she, it just says, like, she's claiming it from the get-go. How long have you been in?
I started July 7th.
Okay, so we're just at our month mark now. Making a few short stops on the way to the top. She's just getting her box here. Ruby, Emerald, Diamond. She's claiming it. I think that that's huge. That was exactly 1 month. And then this goes back to my 3 days into the business. This is where we talk about, like, when we tell you guys to post, like the picture I had you guys post tonight, I think it's really big, one, to hold yourself accountable. Put your goals out there. When you write, did you know that I don't know what the statistic is, but you are so much more likely to reach your goals when you say them out loud or when you write them down. So for me, I was a skeptic for 3 years, but I had a lot of haters and skeptical people when I started this. And 3 days into the business, I said, mark my word, in June I will be averaging $1,900 a month with this business and getting a $10,000 bonus. Want to sit on the sideline and watch me or be on my team? I think being bold, and that's something that Aaron Clark always talked about me, is that I was very bold in what I did, and I just flat out put it out there. If I didn't make it, okay, big deal. I'm going to be that much closer to it. But in June, when I was wanting to be making $1,900 a month, I had a 5-figure paycheck. I called my mom and cried my eyes out. I had no intentions of being in that spot in this business at that time.
Can I say something?
Yep.
You only have 6, 7, 8 likes on that whole post.
Right, that's where I said to join my team is, but I think this is an advertisement still.
I know, but I'm telling you, you only have 9 posts, but you are a triple diamond by June. So just because you don't have 62 posts, likes doesn't mean anything, is what I'm saying.
Right, yeah, people are watching. You would not, and see, that's the thing with me. It took me 3 years to join this business. I heard about this business on February 28th, 2011. I was still in the hospital after having Cade, and I joined February 2nd, 2014. 3 years later, I can guarantee you I never liked a single It Works post. I never commented on It Works post. Aaron and my friend Casey would send me messages, and I would ignore them. 100% rude, ignore them. If they asked me a question about my kids, I would talk to them. If they sent me an opportunity call, I would ignore it. Never got on an opportunity call, nothing. Did not want anything to do with it. Or I didn't want to show that I wanted anything to do with it, but I was watching. I was judging whether or not I was going to have some interest, but I wasn't going to lead that on. So don't think that you don't have people interested. When you give up, that's when people are waiting to see if you're going to be consistent. They're waiting to see if you're going to stay in this business. So, go.
Okay, so she's sharing this comment. I had a girl, she was one of the very first people I asked to be one of my loyal customers. She was getting married, and she's like, oh, I'm already signed up under somebody. I'm like, that's no big deal. That's okay. What product have you been using? So I talked to her, I asked her about the product. She kind of blew me off on stuff. Still following up with her, still talking to her. I'm like, oh my gosh, did you see what I did whenever I tried this product or that product? She won one of my free wraps. I went to her house last night. I wrapped her. Her and her boyfriend or fiance are commenting on all the posts that I've been posting. She has not liked a single one. She told me she wants to sign up as an LC under me. She was never signed up as an LC. She was worried that I was going to continue pursuing her. I still pursued her.
Yeah.
Because she could be a distributor. Don't take I'm an LC as not that I could be a distributor.
Mm-hmm. And that's one thing Erin Clark talks about too, is Erin Clark was an LC under somebody, and she went and helped. She was asked by somebody from her husband Erin's work to come run an It Works like booth at a benefit for like a cancer patient, and she came there. Kelly said, you know, just will you give away one product? Kelly started talking to her about the business. Erin was, like I said, a loyal customer. I think she said she had like 11 boxes of wraps in her closet. She had used one. Never turned her auto shipment off, just kept getting wraps over and over again. And that person that she was an LC under never once told her about the business. Kelly told her about the business. She signed up that next day. And she's a Presidential Diamond, about to go ambassador. So that's one thing that I think that I'm a very heavy recruiter. I sign a lot of distributors, but it's because I think it was Lauren that was joking around that if somebody wants hair, skin, and nails, I'm going to sell them on the business and tell them why they need 4 wraps, and then they can get their hair, skin, and nails. I ask every single person about the business. So don't prejudge anybody. Something else John Eric said at Green Carpet is you never know who that single mom is that's laying in bed crying herself to sleep at night because she doesn't know how she's going to pay her electric bill next week. So ask every single person about this business. You have an amazing opportunity that you need to share with everyone. Kristen said this, and I think she got it from Green Carpet, but adventures are memorable. Think about back to grade school. Think about a field trip that you went on. That's what you remember from grade school. You don't remember how you learned to count, or you don't remember, you know, that biology. You don't remember about your pH from chemistry. You remember the adventures you went on. So what are people going to remember from your Facebook? They're not going to remember your advertisements. They're going to remember, oh, remember when, you know, when Bryce got to go to Cambodia and ride on an elephant? So that's where you want to be, the actual show, not the commercial. Some of my favorite quotes from Green Carpet, you can't be beat if you never give up. You're always going to have more reasons to not work this business than you are to work it. Build your business anyways. No one has free time. Nobody signs up for this business because they're bored. We're doing it because we want freedom. The longer, you know, the more freedom you get, the more time you have to spend with the meaningful things in your life. You're not, you know, having to pick up overtime or pick up a second job at Christmas time or whatever. So if you make the time, you'll be successful. And winners say today, losers say tomorrow. I'm like the world's biggest procrastinator. Do not wait. Just get started. That's one big thing that I tell people. If I could tell you guys a training tip for new distributors, if you sign a new distributor, that box that comes when you sign up is not magic. You don't have to have it. It's not a big deal. Just get started. The minute you hit go, submit your form, start posting, start talking to people. Those 4 wraps aren't going to change your business. Get going. I give people a post to post, and I tell them to tag me in it, and I will help them answer questions, but get going. I give my distributors a challenge. Lori Conway does 48 hours. I think I'm generous. I do a week to try to get your first 4 loyal customers. If you give people that 30 days to get their $120 products, they're going to take 30 days. So that's just human nature. That's what we do. So this business is about urgency. And don't take yourself so seriously. Have fun with this crazy business. So that's a really scary picture. Jada showed me how to use my Mac on the airplane on the way to Florida. So talk about people looking at us on the airplane like we were completely crazy. That did it. So one more thing, we handed out a paper, and I'm going to have Kristen come up and explain it real quick, a calendar.
Did everybody get a blank calendar?
Okay, here, I'll pass them on. You start talking. Hi. Who needs calendars?
I'll pass out that.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many of you spin your wheels when you get on Facebook and you intend on making posts and being productive, and the next thing you know, 45 minutes later, you scroll through your news feed. I'm not loud enough there. If you guys are all like me, I can get on Facebook and scroll for endless amounts of time and not be productive at all. And then it's like 12:30 at night, and I have to get up at work at 5. And did I just say that like totally? I have to get up at 5 for work. Sorry, I'm really tired. And I'm up late, and I'm not even really being productive because I'm just on Facebook. I'm working, like I tell my husband, I'm working, I'm getting paid, and he's like, why is it taking you so long? But anyway, I have this calendar, and it has 4 spaces in every day. So I am going to do this for myself, but I thought this was a great idea to share with all of you. I have a list of, I think 21 different products here, the most popular ones. Almost all of them are on here except for, I just crossed off the essential bars because I added something else that I thought was more important. But basically, I'm going to give you a list. So we ran out of time to really complete the whole calendar, but if you turn your calendar over, I'm going to give you the list of things to fill in. And you're going to take each of these topics and spread them out throughout your calendar. So, for example, wraps is the first topic. You're going to write the word wraps on one of the spaces one time every week. So, like maybe the first week it's Saturday morning, maybe the second week it's Wednesday afternoon, maybe the third week it's Tuesday night, and maybe the fourth week it is Sunday morning, or, you get the idea. Different time of day, different day of the week. You're talking about this product today, and then tomorrow it's going to be something different. So you can do this when you get home. You can fill in all the blanks, but wraps are first, then defining gel. You can use abbreviations if you'd like. Facials are next, and then stretch mark cream. Lip and eye cream. Can you guys still hear me? Okay. Cleanser. Toner. Preventage.
Repair it.
I don't know why my voice.
Use your big girl voice.
I feel like I'm yelling.
There you go.
Can you hear me now? Okay. Greens. Greens choose. Energy. Fat fighters. Confianza. Estro rhythm. It's vital. That could include like all 3 of those products.
Or the core nutrition pack that comes with all of them.
Yeah, or the core nutrition pack that comes with each of them. New You, Regular, Relief, ProFit, and ThermoFit. Okay, so those are 22 products that you would write one of those products each week, a different day of the week. So we don't just want to talk about products, right? We want to have other things in our posts. So here's some other ideas. We talked about the 6 F's, one of those being food. So a picture of something that you're making for supper, something that you're eating at lunch, friendship and freedom, family. I think you should double up on family. So twice a week on family, which is really even just a minimum. I try to post about family every day, but just to be sure you're covering that topic. And then I have on here, this isn't really about a post, but I have, write the word engage. And what I mean by that is you are engaging actively with other people's Facebook. So you're making a conscious effort that day in the evening to go to, let's say, 10 people's Facebook profiles, and you are commenting on their photos. You are liking something that they've posted. You're wishing them happy birthday. Engaging and building those relationships with people. Chatter is another word to add there. You might have seen Ashley's post a while back about how do you prefer your chicken nuggets? Okay, that is totally not It Works related, right? But it really is. Because she's getting people to comment on her post. And there were 85 comments or something crazy about chicken nuggets and what people dip their chicken nuggets in. So come up with something that will engage people in your Facebook profile so that they will have comments over and over and over. And this could be parenting advice. This could be
Making your bed.
Yeah, she did another one last week maybe, and it was how many of you make your bed? And people really felt the need to share that they did or didn't. So get creative. It doesn't have to be something that's really incredibly interesting, but that chatter is going to make your future It Works post more viewable in your friends and family's newsfeed. Okay, we talked about that. Inspiration. You'll see a lot of It Works distributors make inspirational posts, and maybe they tie in something with their team. It could be a photo of a quote or just something that inspired them, but basically you're just adding positivity to people's lives so that they can see that that's part of your journey. Your why, very important. This is, I was reading through my notes from Green Carpet and said something about how when your why becomes everyone else, that's when things really take off. So most of us had a why for joining, and it was more than likely for our own benefit. But when your why becomes more complex and you have a why for yourself and a why for others and a why for your future, then you can incorporate all of those things. You don't even have to flat out say it's your why. You might just hashtag my why. But incorporating that into your personal journey is very important as well. And lastly, the last word is vulnerable. I think that a lot of people are scared to death to start this. I personally watched Ashley for 13 months and literally watched every single post she did and never once talked to her about it. My husband was like, what are you waiting on? She seriously just got a $10,000 bonus and you're going to sit back and not do this? And I was like, I don't want to sell stuff. I don't want to be pushy, and I don't want to be a business person. I didn't think I had time for it. But when it really got down to it, I work as a nurse full time. He does construction. We make decent money, but we live pretty close to our budget. And I cut my hours. He got a different job, and we were literally living paycheck to paycheck. We have 2 car payments. We have a mortgage. We have a daughter in daycare, and When I first started, I made a post about how like 3 weeks before I started, I was calling the cable company asking them to lower our package for our cable bill because I didn't want to waste that $20 on our cable bill. And I got a lot of private messages that were like, wow, I'm really surprised that you are willing to like share that stuff. That's not something that most people would be willing to say. But that vulnerability is huge. Like there was another post I did maybe a couple weeks later that was about this radio flyer wagon that I had wanted to get my daughter forever, and I finally had the money to justify it. Those posts are way more valuable than I'm looking for 3 people to join my team, because people want the goals that you've reached, not just to join a team. You know, they have to see the big picture, and being vulnerable is a huge part of that. So those are my tips for you with the calendar, and I am going to be making a calendar like that, making it completely filling it out, and then I'm going to share that with my new distributors, and I'm going to say, okay, this is your first month. Here's your first 30 days. I'm going to explain what all those words mean, and then that's going to be a way to jumpstart them as part of their training. So wanted to share that with you all.
I think Ash.
I think the only other thing that, if you guys got this piece of paper, this is just a goal for you guys, something to look at. There are some ideas. I think sometimes we just truly don't know what to post about on Facebook. And I was actually just telling them out in the hallway that Quentin Conway has a really good video. I get people all the time that are like, I can sign so many loyal customers, but I can't sign a distributor. Or my side is I sign a lot of distributors, but struggle with the loyal customer side. Whatever you're posting the most about is what you're going to have the most hits on. And Quentin Conway has a really good video. If you don't follow the Conways on YouTube, they've got an awesome YouTube channel. But in July and August and then this month, I started posting a lot about the products more than I was the business, and I signed 7 loyal customers. And I cannot tell you the last time I've signed, like months of signing 7 loyal customers. That's just not what that's not been my strong suit, but it's because I post so much about the business. So I think that this is a really good tracker to kind of give you some ideas. One thing, Kristen Eller has a girl on her team that Crystal Kavanaugh started off with how many Facebook friends? Like 500, 300, and now how many does she
Over
have?
2,000.
In 2 months?
She started in May.
So Crystal Kavanaugh started in May. She started out with 300 Facebook friends. She now has over 2,000 Facebook friends because she adds new people constantly. She goes to her mom's page and adds her mom's friends. I tag my mom and my husband in a lot of my posts because that goes to their friends. So this is just a good tracker. So I really suggest that you guys try to look at this. There's also stuff about attending a corporate event. Corporate events can be the Sunday night and Monday training call. Like Sunday night is the family call. It's 15 minutes long. It's Mark Pentecost, Mike Patello, and Pam Souter. They just pump us up and get us started for our week so we can start off on a positive note. And then Monday night is typically some people that have promoted like Triple Diamond or above. And then sometimes she has some like Rubies on there or people talking about Ruby training and they're telling their story. I can tell you guys when I promoted from distributor to Triple Diamond in 4 months, which was insane. It was crazy, hectic, but I did not miss a Sunday or Monday night call. Because if I could turn those on, they're muted, you can be as loud as you want in your house, I could run my kids' bathwater, I could be cooking dinner, whatever, and have those calls on. Back to the corporate events, they filled my cup up. They energized me, I connected with people. I remember hearing Bonnie Altrudo talk on one of them, and she was a night shift labor and delivery nurse who had quit her job. She's an Ambassador Diamond in St. Louis now. She was like, I could feel like I was connected to her even though I didn't know her. So get on these. That information, again, is at that Sunday weekly wrap-up email, and you can have all the call numbers, too. So plugging in, I think, is the biggest thing. Coming to these meetings and taking the time to be here. I think are huge for your business, being around like-minded people. So we really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for all the donations. I know that Central Missouri Foster Care and Adoption is really going to appreciate this. This is how all of our team meetings are going to go. We're going to find somebody to give back to from now on. That is huge with the company. I've got on my Gives Back shirt. They have apparel at corporate events for the Gives Back, and 100% of the sales from it go to an organization that it works sponsors that is for sex trafficking of women and children as young as 3 years old in sex trafficking that they're rescuing. So this company is incredible. You guys are in the right place at the right time, I promise. Okay, and then we need to unwrap Miss Danielle.
And the light.
And the
light. And look at your,
she's with it.
Everybody, can you please look at your picture you posted, and let's hear if you have, how many do you have?
I'm not going to win. I have
Well, I know, but just I'm trying to get some goals here.
70 something.
Okay, well, somebody shout out a number of what you got, and we'll see if people, 91.
That's awesome.
How many? 127.
Nice.
Anybody got more than 127? Did she beat you?
Yay, yes.
Woo!
Nice job.
You can come pick out a product.
Oh, I wonder.
Okay, so we're gonna unwrap you, ma'am.
Nice
We're gonna
work.
take another picture.
The best part is the people that I had no idea wanted a free product, and I'm going, oh, I could have talked to these people.
See, I stole that from you. I went back and edited my post
There you
after I seen
go.
you did that.
Yeah.
This is what we do in this business, is steal from each other.
Yes. Copy and repeat.
Over the next 3 days.
And then I'll cancel you.
I don't care. I'm dizzy. Yep, we can slap it back on you. So we're gonna get the same view of the picture that we had before.
The lighting is going to be different because it's dark
I
now.
lined them up with that. I mean, it's
What?
a camera that has screens.
Here.
That's memory, probably.
She has the ability to take pictures. I'm on vacation and took like 600 pictures.
Mine.
Okay,
Here,
and then before
you wanna
everybody
text
leaves,
it to
I'd
yourself?
like to get a couple of group pictures. One in front of our stuff. I'm going to send it to Kate that runs the Gives Back Foundation. She loves to see this stuff. And then I don't know if you guys have heard the fight song. This is my fight song. So that's like our new motto with the company. So if you saw our picture up on the screen earlier, I want everybody to do a muscle picture in a group, and then just another general picture of the meeting. So we'll do like a selfie one for that. You can shut that down.
And then on your, how do you stop?